Welcome to the Just Jim radio show. We're here today to share what we can of some inspiration, some information, a little bit of fun. We do this with different formats, little interviews, sometimes conversations, questions and answers. Really just wanting to be able to share some ideas and concepts that maybe open a window or shed some light or have you look at things a little bit differently. I'm Just Jim. Where did Just Jim come from? Well, I'm Reverend Jim and a pastor at Sarasota Center of Light, and yet the last year and a half or so I've been just Jim. Everybody wants to know what to call me, but Jim's a good thing to do. And when I started this show, I said, well, that'd be a great way to go. Let's call it Just Jim. And today we're here with an interview and conversation with Alexandria Mazzarino. She has a wonderful way of looking at life and offering who she is. Adore your life is part mantra and part message for her. Goal of this wellness program is the same. Adore your life. How wonderful is that? Possessing a double major in psychology and fine arts. Wow. And her desire for exploring the dichotomies of known and unknown, visible and invisible, was manifested at an early age with a passion for understanding human behavior. Studies in astrology, art therapy, crystal healing, chakra balancing, numerology, or aromatherapy has evolved into a life of timelessly consuming understanding and practicing alternative healing and homeopathic wellness. She loves to be able to further her way of seeing things in her training in energetic therapies such as Reiki, Allergy Eliminate Techniques, body talk, reflexology. She's just a full spectrum person, someone I've known for quite some time with a very bright light. She developed a mediumistic and psychic healing abilities born out of spiritual enlightenment and medical intuitiveness. Her most recent endeavor is mastering the utilization of what we're here to talk about, the NLS Matrix Decoder. The device is able to read an individual's DNA, and from the messaging it provides, allow for the construct of frequency healing, incorporating the matrix and other frequency modalities Alexandria has trained in. She has a lot going on for her and with her, and we're so grateful to have her here. Welcome, Alexandria.
Thank you, Jim. It's so nice to be here. I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah. I'm not sure where you're at. You're not where I am. Where I am, it's raining a bit, but it's still a beautiful day. I hope your day is beautiful also as we get started here. So tell me what is, now I'll start with a little bit of humor. I've seen The Matrix, and I really enjoy the series and the movie. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the NLS Matrix Decoder. What is the Matrix?
The Matrix Decoder is a new form of technology that incorporates the frequency healing. So we're talking about how we're energetic frequency beings, and this is used in acupuncture and different modalities around the world. It's an ancient technology that we've gotten away from, because since we're all energetic beings, we lose touch with the fact that that is out of balance, which then causes disease. So this machine technology is using the computer to scan the body in order to understand where our frequencies are getting diluted and misconstrued.
So when I hear you say that, it sounds as if we've got varying vibrations in different places, maybe organs and systems of our body, and even in our thought processes, that this measures the frequencies and looks for maybe imbalances or blockages or disorientation that might be going on, and it helps to give you a better view of what's going on with an individual and an energetic or frequency level?
Correct. I actually get the computer, the machine is attached to a computer. You put on a headset, or if you're actually getting a distance healing, I would get a sample of your DNA through hair or nail sample and put it in a chamber where it would instead usually use a headset for you if you were there in person. So at that moment, the machine actually reads your energy through the DNA, and it starts to provide me a virtual image on the screen so that I can see where in your energy field, everything from your physical body to each organ, and it gives me a plethora of information. So this is basically a machine that provides information to the practitioner in order to assist the client to have the health and wellness that they desire. So in turn, I'm looking at an organ where then I could see some frequencies that are like disconnected. The frequencies are there, but they're not at it's not the highest level of energy. So what we're doing at that point is focusing on where we have any dis-ease in the body. Sometimes the clients are aware, so they'll tell me, I'm dealing with thyroid problems. So it'll show up clearly in the virtual model that I'll see that the thyroid is showing some discomfort. So I can check in with pathology, and it'll give me I want to say a diagnosis, but we don't actually diagnose. It just provides me the information. So another frequency that matches the current frequency of the state of your thyroid. Then I could say, okay, hypothyroidism would show up, which you already know. And we're diagnosed, and we're agreeing that this was appropriate diagnosis. But looking further into it, I could find out that there's a viral or a bacterial exposure that is creating the dis-ease in the body. So the body is now not attacking itself, and it's not autoimmune. It is actually the body trying to attack a virus or bacteria that we cannot even detect in medicine today.
And that's detected through these frequencies and vibrations you're able to determine through this machine and this technology that's really giving you a different view of what's going on at a deeper and more detailed level in varying areas of the body. And also more than that, is it able to look at how the person might be feeling, thinking, things that are going on that level in that way?
Yes, it's amazing. It actually has different levels. I can check the psychological, the emotional, relationships. So it can actually even show where you would have a conflict. You could have a spiritual conflict in your thyroid. That's also another level of discomfort that creates the dis-ease that will create the diagnosis. So the body is trying to talk to us with these ailments, with pain, just pain in itself. You ever just get a random sharp pain? And you're like, oh, what was that? It goes away. You don't know. You never think about it again. That could have been just a little SOS from an organ trying to let you know that something is disturbing my peace in here. And it could be H. pylori. It could be streptococcus. I mean, there's like 16 million different ailments that I have heard of and never realized that they literally live in our bodies on a regular basis. And they only act up when our immune system is weakened. And our immune system will be weakened by emotional stress, most prominently, an animal bite or a tick bite, like a bug bite. So you can get a tick bite, then get diagnosed with Lyme's disease. But really, what you're getting is a tick bite activating the stressor in the body that is now reflecting symptomology, which is then diagnosed as Lyme's disease. But sometimes we don't know what these illnesses are. So my father got bit by a bunch of mosquitoes one year, and we were chasing around doctor to doctor to find out what was happening to him, because all of a sudden he had a pain in his ankle where it was collapsing. And it didn't correlate to any of his other symptoms that he had, because he's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, but the doctor ruled it out that it had nothing to do with that. We went to Lyme's disease specialist. They couldn't really find that it was Lyme's disease. So he had this mystery ailment and no understanding of where it came from and why. But the body having anything created disharmony. It could be grief. It could be a breakup. It could be a car accident. It could be just everyday stress, just piling on. Fear is huge. Right now we're in a very fearful state in the world. So all of these emotions are actually exacerbating the symptomology that we have then become disease.
And so from that place, you have a reference as an intuitive, as a healer, as these different things that you've studied, that then you can turn around and bring the appropriate response to what you're experiencing within the individual, both obviously verbally, but also from a treatment point of view.
Yes, a lot of times that we have just breaking up the astrological chart helps me to uncode. It's like a key for me. I can unlock the mystery of going inside of someone. So I see their chart. It's a formulation that I know how to interpret. And in my own way, it's not even always the most traditional learning of astrology. So I use astrology as one of my tools in order to understand this person's life purpose, challenges, gifts, and I look at the big picture of that, and I provide tools. And sometimes it's a mantra, sometimes it's a physical activity, sometimes it's a diet plan. There's different areas in their all the spectrums of their life. We have 12 houses, you have 12 signs. We all have all of those signs affecting us somehow. So when we call ourselves a Capricorn, as I am, that's just my sun sign. And we have all the planetary signs. The formulation creates information. So I've always sought information, and I was attracted to energy. Since I was a little girl, I was collecting crystals. And now I'm able to, with the Matrix Decoder, put all of those things together. I have the computer providing information on the deepest level, confirming things that I get intuitively, and beyond, and even expanding it beyond my medical knowledge, because I did not go to medical school. I have basic information. I watched a lot of episodes of House, and this makes me feel that I have something very similar, just going beyond what we know, even taught to us in medical school. As is spirit, we know that is beyond what we can physically see in this earth plane.
What a beautiful way to bring into the dance of life both the informational, the energetic, the measurable frequency of the dynamic that's going on physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, and then to be able to address that from both a practical standpoint and from an inspirational, spiritual standpoint, and using structure like astrology or crystals or homeopathy. You say it, not me, but
homeopathy. Essential oils.
Yes. I know what I was trying to say. My brain just wasn't getting my mouth to say it the way I wanted to. So it sounds rather sophisticated, and yet the surety and certainty in the way that you're describing it makes it feel very comforting in knowing the detail it offers, and then what you're able to see, feel, experience, and share that can make a difference for people. Sounds like it's very powerful in the effect that it can have for individuals in the way they're seeing life and living life and being who they are.
Yes, it's phenomenal. And as well as I am a person who likes to know the information, I can bypass the brain altogether and just work with the energy. So for a child or an animal, they're never going to hear what I've found in the Matrix Decoder. And for most clients, they don't need to, because they'll attach a fear to what I see. For example, when COVID came along, I scanned myself to see, I was actually under the weather in early March. So I went to get an IV treatment for vitamin C to boost my immune system, because I had planned to travel, and I'm living right now in New Orleans. I was planning to travel back to New York, where I'm from,